Hey everybody! As you may know by now, the Alzheimer's Association sent a team from New Mexico out to take part in the association's recent Community Leadership Summit in San Diego. I was really lucky to be selected to represent Home Instead and the Santa Fe area on this trip. I thought it'd be cool to get post-conference interviews with everyone from Team New Mexico to give our communities back home the opportunity to soak up some of the inspiration and passion that was stirred in all of us at the conference. In this video, we'll hear from Tim Sheehan, Ron Epps, Tori Rohrer, Carolyn Scott, Katie Hernandez, Buffy Saavedra, and I even ran into a few of our Home Instead extended family out at the conference. So we'll also hear from Lakeland Eichenberger of Home Instead's home office as well. So spend a few minutes with us to get the rundown. As an extra incentive to watch, I'll give you a number to text at the end of the video with a special message. If you're either the 3rd or the 15th person to text the message, Home Instead will make a $25 donation to the association in your name. Now that you have lots of reasons to watch, let's get into it. The first question I asked everybody is if they could tell us some personal highlights from their time at the conference.
Number one, it was great to be back in live again with 1,300 people. That was awesome because it's been 3 years since we've done that.
It was just really good to be in person. I had talked to a lot of the people I actually work with on a day-to-day basis that I've seen on a computer screen that now I actually had lunch with, and turns out they're real humans.
I was really just honored to be chosen, invited to come along. And I really liked personally, I'm a clinician, so I really liked the clinical aspect of it with the research. And they did a luncheon on what their research involves and how it gets into the nitty gritty and the biology and all that kind of stuff. And my eyes were this big because I really like the fact that we're in a treatment era for Alzheimer's.
There were so many great, components to the event, so many great inspirational messages that were shared. Volunteers, people living with Alzheimer's got up on stage and they just shared their story.
I would have to say my personal highlights were hearing both two individuals, one being Tony Gonzalez, and then the second being Garrett Davis.
I think one was that it really shined its light on how this is really not only a national challenge, but worldwide.
And they've gotten to that point where they have 2 approved drugs now, and with 2 more in the lineup in clinical studies, and that's super exciting.
And the stories were just so meaningful and impactful. And my favorite, it was a total surprise. I had no idea that a former Home Instead Care Pro was going to get up and share.
Tony, what struck me with him was that how he took his early diagnosis, just grabbed it by the horns and ran with it. He dealt with it and his family dealt with it.
My favorite part was actually the diversity piece and really understanding how even more challenging it may be for somebody of the LGBTQ community, many people of color, and other challenges.
That things are, especially on the research side, are improving. To hear about some of the great things that we're doing and to actually see New Mexico highlighted.
Just the impact of seeing such a vast number of people from all across the country who are real leaders in their community for this cause. And they're making a maximum impact because they are very in touch with how their personal stories meet with this cause of ending Alzheimer's.
New Mexico is highlighted several times during the conference, and I thought that was fantastic. For our chapter being one of 76 chapters in the country, and we were highlighted about our walks and our individual goals that were set, and we blew them away. So that really made my day as the executive director.
The next question is, what message do you hope to convey to your community after your time at the conference?
I think the biggest one is really assuring everyone knows that they have resources available, that there's an opportunity to have paid respite, that there's the opportunity to have caregiver support sessions to join, now virtual as well as in person.
I think the biggest message, and this was actually from Dr. Pike, was that we are in a new era when we talk about Alzheimer's and dementia, both in treatment, and that is the era of treatment, that now we actually have medications that have an impact on the disease.
I'm leaving that conference with kind of a renewed passion for the cause, with a lot of hope with the 2 FDA approved treatments for early onset Alzheimer's, and then there's more in the pipeline. So I'm excited to fire our network up and get them excited about the walk for 2023, and just encouraging them to get plugged into the association, because I just think that it's really a pivotal time, I think, for Alzheimer's disease and the research.
Treatment is the next phase for the Alzheimer's Association. The most important thing is this is a breakthrough. First time in 18 years last year when we had the announcement that we had our first drug coming through. And it's only for early onset people, but it gives them 27% increase in their lifespan. So it means that for your loved one, they can enjoy you more and you can enjoy them more.
I was refreshed in realizing that the overall mission of the organization has more to do with the fact that we all believe that life is beautiful, and that beauty and more of that beauty is worth fighting for.
My eyes were just open at how much the association actually does and how much they have to offer for the community. Knowing that I can bring all of that information, even just to my mom, who's caring for my dad for with Alzheimer's. He's in year 13 and it's getting really hard on her, and she needs that caregiver education and that support.
Empathy versus sympathy. With sympathy, and this was brought out in the session, sympathy is like you almost feel pity for somebody. Empathy, you're walking in their shoes and you're actually listening to them.
I look forward to bringing hope and knowledge that we are in the era of treatment, and really just letting the community and this area know that there's treatment out there.
Yeah, I would hope that we could take a busload out to New Orleans next year and take, I think everybody that went, all of our volunteers and our staff that went out this year, had a great time in San Diego, but we really learned a lot, and the energy level coming back was phenomenal.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I hope you got a lot out of the different messages that everyone was able to share. And right now, if you text NALZNM, End Alls New Mexico, to 505-670-5533, if you're either the 3rd or the 15th person to text that message to me, Home Instead will donate $25 in your name to the Alzheimer's Association. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.